Elmo.
What are you going to do with that stick?
Oh, there's lots of things you can do with this stick, Elmo.
When we talk about the dumpster fire of superhero movies, I can't help but think of the cinematic gems like Thor, Love and Thunder, Justice League, and She-Hulk. But oh boy, She-Hulk takes the cake for reaching a whole new level of garbage. It's like a failed science experiment or a forgotten stepchild of the MCU. Oh wait, that's Captain Marvel. Well, the DCEU really showcased a unique and never-before-seen world, complete with its own special dumpster fire. OHDC, where superheroes go to be misunderstood, misrepresented, and mismanaged. The brilliant minds behind this franchise clearly thought that not only were they capable of rivaling the MCU, but they could do it in half the time and with zero coherent storytelling.
Fish can live underwater, then so can I!
Because who needs character development and narrative cohesion when you can just shove Batman and Superman into the same movie and hope for the best, right? And oh, let's not forget the genius studio interference that gave us such classics as Let's Make Suicide Squad more like a music video and less like an actual movie, and let's release a half-baked Justice League just to meet a deadline. Who cares if it actually makes sense? But hey, at least we got to see Jared Leto send people weird gifts in a failed attempt to be the next iconic Joker, right? Oh, DCU, you're like that awkward relative at a family gathering who just can't seem to get it together no matter how hard they try.
I'm gonna come. Oh.
Keep up the good work. And hey, we can't really blame the terrible writing and planning, right? I mean, my blind friend only needed 5 seconds of watching Justice League to see that. And let's not forget the Snyder cult, ready to go full Indiana Jones and rip my heart out just for daring to criticize the DCU. But hey, remember, this is all just my toxic opinion, so feel free to disagree. Just don't forget to ignore the actual facts. When The Dark Knight Rises concluded Nolan's trilogy in 2012, the Superman film titled Man of Steel, which had been in production for a number of years, would be the first film to kick off DC's new cinematic universe in 2013. Initially called the Snyderverse, named after Zack Snyder, the director in charge of jump-starting the DC Extended Universe who had previously directed Watchmen back in 2009. However, spoiler alert, the DCU was rife with a plethora of issues. For starters, the one they chose to lead this new cinematic universe, Zack Snyder, was a very divisive choice. Snyder is a very unique visionary. All his films have a very distinctive style and tone, and he is the master at bringing comic panels to life in real and believable ways. He mixed that with his typical monochromatic, muted color scheme contrasted against main characters with popping colors. Snyder movies almost always feel otherworldly. The way he shoots his scenes, designs his worlds, and plays with colors. It's no wonder DC chose him to launch their cinematic universe. This issue was more like a colossal, universe-shattering problem. Snyder just couldn't quite wrap his head around those characters, could he? But who needs to understand Batman and Superman when you have your own vision, right? It's not like those characters have been around for nearly a century or anything, no big deal. And let's not forget Snyder's dedication to his own vision at the expense of, I don't know, alienating pretty much the entire fan base. Oh, how we adore it when directors think they're above the source material and want to reinvent the wheel. It's just so refreshing, isn't it? But seriously, who needs to stay faithful to the source material when you can just throw everything out the window and see what happens? It's not like people have been emotionally invested in these characters for decades or anything. And really, who doesn't love it when a director's unique, distinctive vision turns a beloved comic book saga into a convoluted, headache-inducing mess? But hey, at least Zack Snyder gave us the unforgettable Martha moment in Batman v Superman. I mean, who doesn't enjoy a good laugh when two mortal enemies suddenly bond over their mothers sharing the same name? Classic storytelling, really. And let's not forget the dazzling portrayal of Superman as a mopey, angsty, brooding hero. Who needs the beacon of hope and inspiration when you can have a moody, misunderstood Kryptonian on his period? In the end, I think we can all agree that Snyder's genius for taking a ready-made, beloved universe and tossing it into a blender was exactly what the DCU needed. It's not like the fans wanted a faithful adaptation that honored the source material. No, we were all just clamoring for a muddy, grim, and joyless experience, right? Oh, wait. Now watch the Snyder cult lose their 2 brain cells. The DCU's failure can be summed up as a beautiful train wreck of rushed development, lack of cohesion, and dumb studio interference. Who needs careful planning and strategic storytelling when you can churn out films at a breakneck pace and hope for the best? The DCU decided to throw caution to the wind and skip all that pesky world building and character development stuff that the Marvel folks were doing. Instead, they opted for a delightful mishmash of dark and gritty themes, sprinkled with generous servings of confusion and uninspired studio meddling. Why bother with a consistent tone and vision when you can have fans scratching their heads and wondering if the studio executives just threw darts at a board to decide the plot of the next movie? Oh, DCU. Thank you for the roller coaster ride of mediocrity and missed opportunities. You certainly showed us how not to build a cinematic universe. Good try, though.